It started with curiosity, a simple, almost innocent curiosity that many of us have felt at some point in our lives, the kind of curiosity that makes you wonder about the unknown, the unseen, and the forbidden. It was this curiosity that led me down a path I never expected to tread, a whisper in the digital wind about a hidden world, the dark web, a place shrouded in mystery and intrigue, where the rules of the surface web don't apply. It was like a secret society, hidden in plain sight, accessible to those who knew where to look. A place where secrets lived and nightmares thrived. Stories of illicit activities, hidden marketplaces, and forbidden knowledge swirled around it like a dark mist. It was both terrifying and fascinating, a digital underworld that promised both danger and discovery. I, like many before me, was drawn to its allure. The idea of uncovering hidden truths and exploring the unknown was too tempting to resist. It was like a siren's call, beckoning me to dive deeper into the abyss. I knew there were risks, but the promise of the unknown was too tempting to resist. The thrill of the hunt, the excitement of discovery, and the possibility of finding something truly extraordinary kept me going. Each keystroke, each click, brought me closer to the heart of the dark web. Little did I know, this digital descent would leave an indelible mark on my soul. My journey began simply, a few searches, a few clicks, and I was in. The interface was stark, almost primitive, but it was functional. It was a gateway to a world I had only heard whispers of, a quest for forbidden knowledge, for a glimpse beyond the veil of everyday life. I wanted to see what lay beyond the surface, to understand the hidden mechanisms that drove this shadowy world. It was a journey into the unknown, and I was both excited and apprehensive. I had heard tales of the dark web, of its power and its horrors, stories of hackers, activists, and criminals all coexisting in this digital underworld. It was a place where the lines between right and wrong were blurred, where morality was a matter of perspective. Some dismissed it as a playground for criminals and deviants. They saw it as a dark corner of the internet best left unexplored. But I couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to it than that. There had to be something deeper, something worth discovering. Others whispered of conspiracies and truths hidden from the public eye. They spoke of secret societies, hidden agendas, and powerful entities operating in the shadows. It was like a modern-day myth, a digital legend that captivated the imagination. I, for one, was skeptical. I didn't believe in the wild tales and conspiracy theories, but the seed of curiosity had been planted, and it grew with each passing day. I wanted to see for myself, to separate fact from fiction, to uncover the truth behind the myths. Yet the seed of curiosity had been planted, and it grew with each passing day. It was like an itch I couldn't scratch, a question that demanded an answer. The more I learned, the more I wanted to know. It was a never-ending cycle of curiosity and discovery. I devoured articles and watched documentaries, each piece of information fueling my desire to see for myself. I read about the history of the dark web, its origins and its evolution. I watched interviews with hackers and activists trying to understand their motivations and their world. I told myself it was purely for research, to separate fact from fiction. I wanted to be informed, to understand the reality behind the sensational stories. But deep down, I knew there was a thrill in the danger, an excitement in the unknown. It was like a forbidden fruit, tempting and irresistible. But deep down, I knew there was a thrill in the danger, an excitement in the unknown. The dark web was a place where anything was possible, where the rules of the surface world didn't apply. It was a digital frontier, a wild west of the internet, and I was eager to explore it. The whispers grew louder, guiding me toward my destination. Forums and chat rooms became my map, each post a cryptic clue leading me deeper into the labyrinth. I learned the language of the web, the tools of anonymity, the importance of covering my tracks. There was a thrill in the preparation, a sense of anticipation that bordered on fear. I knew the risks. I knew the dark web was not a place for the faint of heart, but I pressed on, driven by an insatiable curiosity that had taken root within me. Days turned into nights as I delved deeper into the hidden corners of the internet. The deeper I went, the more I realized the truth in the whispers. The dark web was real, and it was vast. It was a marketplace, a forum, a haven for those who sought anonymity and escape. But it was also a breeding ground for darkness, a place where the worst of humanity could hide from the light of day. With a mix of trepidation and excitement, I took the plunge. The decision to explore the dark web wasn't made lightly. It was a journey into the unknown, a venture into a realm shrouded in mystery and danger. I had read countless stories, some thrilling, others terrifying, about what lay beyond the surface web. But curiosity, that insatiable drive to uncover the hidden, pushed me forward. I downloaded the necessary software, masking my digital footprint and shielding myself from prying eyes. The process was meticulous, requiring careful attention to detail. Each step was crucial, from setting up a secure VPN to installing the Tor browser. I knew that any mistake could expose me to risks I wasn't prepared to face. The air crackled with anticipation as I typed in the final command, opening a portal to a world I could barely comprehend. The command line interface felt like a gateway, a bridge between the familiar and the unknown. As the lines of code scrolled across the screen, I felt a sense of empowerment mixed with vulnerability. I was stepping into a digital frontier where the rules were different and the stakes were high. The screen flickered, the familiar interface of my computer dissolving into a chaotic mess of text and code. It was as if the digital world was reshaping itself before my eyes, transforming into something alien and unrecognizable. The chaotic text was a stark reminder of the complexity and unpredictability of the dark web. This was it, the gateway to the dark web. The Tor browser, with its onion logo, symbolized layers of encryption and anonymity. It was my shield, my protector in this uncharted territory. But it also felt like a double-edged sword, offering both security and a sense of foreboding. A shiver ran down my spine as I realized there was no turning back. The weight of my decision settled in, and the gravity of the situation became clear. I was about to delve into a world where anonymity was both a shield and a weapon, where trust was scarce, and danger lurked in every corner. Gone were the familiar search engines and brightly colored websites. In their place was a stark, minimalist interface devoid of the usual comforts of the surface web. It was a digital wilderness where navigation required not just skill but also a keen sense of caution. In their place was a desolate landscape of hidden services, their addresses a jumbled mess of letters and numbers. These cryptic URLs were like secret codes, each one leading to a different part of this vast, uncharted territory. It was a stark contrast to the neatly organized and easily accessible websites of the surface web. The air was thick with the digital musk of anonymity and fear. Every click, every keystroke felt like a step deeper into the unknown. The sense of isolation was palpable, as if I was navigating a labyrinth with no clear exit. The dark web was a place where the usual rules didn't apply, where the boundaries between right and wrong were blurred. I navigated the labyrinthine pathways, my heart pounding in my chest. Each link was a potential doorway to something unexpected, something potentially dangerous. The tension was almost unbearable, but it was also exhilarating. The thrill of discovery, the allure of the forbidden, kept me moving forward. Every click felt dangerous. Every page load a potential trap. The slow loading times added to the suspense, each second stretching into an eternity. It was a test of patience and nerve, a game of digital cat and mouse where the stakes were incredibly high. I had been warned about the dangers of the dark web, of the malicious actors lurking in the shadows. These warnings echoed in my mind, a constant reminder of the risks I was taking. But they also served as a guide, helping me stay vigilant and cautious. The dark web was a place where knowledge was power and ignorance could be fatal. Section 4, a gateway to the abyss. Days blurred into nights. I stumbled upon forums dedicated to unspeakable acts, marketplaces peddling illegal goods and services. The deeper I ventured, the more I questioned my sanity. What had started as curiosity was quickly morphing into a morbid fascination. It was during one of these late-night explorations that I stumbled upon it, a link buried deep within a forum dedicated to the macabre and the grotesque. The title was simple, yet chilling: Live Stream. Curiosity, that insatiable beast, gnawed at me. I knew I should turn back, that whatever lay beyond that link was likely to be disturbing at best, horrifying at worst. Yet I couldn't resist the pull. My finger hovered over the mouse button, my heart pounding in my ears. With a deep breath, I clicked. The screen went black for a moment, then flickered back to life. This time, it wasn't a website that greeted me, but a grainy, low-resolution video stream. Section 5, the live stream. The room was dimly lit, the furniture draped in sheets, giving the space an eerie, otherworldly feel. The shadows seemed to dance on the walls, creating an unsettling atmosphere that made my skin crawl. It was as if the room itself was alive, breathing in the darkness and exhaling a sense of foreboding. The air was thick with an unspoken tension, a palpable sense of dread that hung over everything like a dark cloud. A single figure sat hunched in a chair, their back to the camera. The silhouette was barely discernible in the dim light, adding to the mystery of the scene. The figure's posture was tense, almost as if they were waiting for something, or someone. The stillness of the figure contrasted sharply with the restless shadows around them, creating a haunting tableau that was both mesmerizing and terrifying. My eyes strained to make sense of the scene, my mind racing with possibilities. Was this some kind of performance art, or was there something more sinister at play? The ambiguity of the situation only heightened my sense of unease. Every detail, every shadow seemed to hold a secret, a clue to the true nature of what I was witnessing. My heart pounded in my chest as I tried to piece together the puzzle. Who was this person, and what was the purpose of this live stream? The questions swirled in my mind, each one more troubling than the last. The anonymity of the figure added to the enigma, making it impossible to discern their intentions. Was this a cry for help, or a warning? The uncertainty gnawed at me, making it difficult to look away even as a part of me wanted to shut off the screen and forget I had ever seen it. A wave of unease washed over me. It was a feeling that went beyond simple discomfort. It was a deep, visceral reaction to the scene unfolding before me. My instincts screamed that something was terribly wrong, but I was powerless to do anything about it. The sense of helplessness was overwhelming, adding to the growing knot of anxiety in my stomach. There was something deeply unsettling about the scene, a sense of dread that permeated the very air. It was as if the room itself was a character in this dark narrative, its every corner hiding a potential threat. The atmosphere was thick with tension, each second stretching into an eternity as I waited for something, anything, to happen. The silence was deafening, amplifying the sense of impending doom. I couldn't shake the feeling that I was intruding on something sinister, something that I was not meant to see. It was as if I had stumbled upon a secret, a dark truth that was never meant to be revealed. The sense of being an unwelcome observer was almost suffocating, making it hard to breathe. I felt like a trespasser in a forbidden world, a world that was both fascinating and terrifying in equal measure. The figure shifted in their chair, and for a brief moment I caught a glimpse of their face. It was a fleeting moment, but it was enough to send a chill down my spine. The face was obscured by shadows, but there was something unmistakably human about it, something that made the scene even more disturbing. The brief glimpse was like a flash of lightning in a storm, illuminating the darkness for just a second before plunging it back into obscurity. It was obscured by a ski mask, the eyes hollow and vacant, staring blankly into the void. The mask added an extra layer of horror to the scene, transforming the figure from a mere human into something more monstrous. The hollow eyes seemed to pierce through the screen, making me feel exposed and vulnerable. It was as if the figure could see into my very soul, judging me for my intrusion. My heart skipped a beat. The realization that I was witnessing something far more sinister than I had initially thought hit me like a ton of bricks. The fear was almost paralyzing, making it difficult to think clearly. My mind raced with thoughts of what could happen next, each one more terrifying than the last. The sense of impending doom was almost tangible, hanging over me like a dark cloud. This was no ordinary live stream. The realization dawned on me slowly, like a creeping shadow. This was something far more sinister, something that defied explanation. The normal rules of reality seemed to have been suspended, replaced by a nightmarish scenario that was unfolding in real time. The sense of unreality was almost overwhelming, making it difficult to distinguish between what was real and what was a product of my imagination. This was something far more sinister. The atmosphere was thick with malevolence, each second bringing a new wave of dread. The live stream had transformed from a simple broadcast into a dark ritual, a ceremony of horror that I was powerless to stop. The sense of being a passive observer was almost unbearable, making me feel complicit in whatever dark deeds were about to unfold. A chill ran down my spine as I realized I was not just a passive observer. I was a witness to something dark and terrible that was about to unfold. The weight of that realization was almost too much to bear, making me feel like I was drowning in a sea of fear and uncertainty. The sense of responsibility was overwhelming, adding to the already unbearable tension. A witness to something dark and terrible that was about to unfold. The sense of impending doom was almost palpable, making it difficult to breathe. The live stream had become a window into a world of horror, a world that I was now a part of. The sense of being trapped, of being unable to look away, was almost suffocating. I was a witness and there was no turning back.